Hey, Steph, Steve called this the biggest game of the year, and knowing the stakes for the standings, how much does this loss sting?
It's just things getting blown out. I mean, we know the context of the season where we're at, and like I said last time, or 2 nights ago when I was up here, it's the biggest game because it was the one that was next, and trying to stay in the moment. Dropped the ball, didn't play well, got blown out. Didn't really have any life in the first quarter. It's a tough one, you know. Obviously want to play better. Obviously want to be in a situation where you're, competitive and rising to the level of competition, and we didn't do it.
Does this feel like a team that has a normal level of late season fatigue, or is it more than normal?
It's appropriate. I mean, every team's in the same situation, same schedule, same protocols. So our experience is no different. Every team has to make the right calls on how to balance everything that's thrown at you in the sports world and be ready to play. So we've had a really good run, as of late, and I found a way to manage that. Tonight was not that type of night, and we have a 4-game road trip to hopefully respond. So that's all we got to do.
Hey, Steph. Tomer Barzani with Sports Illustrated. As the leader of this team, what do you tell your guys after a loss like this, looking forward to Thursday's game against the Timberwolves?
You want to turn the page. You understand that, the Mavs are a talented team. They get paid to play basketball just like we do. And some nights it looks like they get paid more across the board. And so it's just a matter of us trying to remember who we are, remember our identity, not dwell on it too long, and find a way to keep our confidence in who we've shown, ourselves to be over this last little stretch. And 10 games to sprint to the finish line. We got to still have a good opportunity.
Steph, you guys have obviously had bad games earlier in the year. Is there anything you can point to as to why the effort was so bad tonight?
No. If I would have, might have been able to say something earlier in the game to try to course correct. But you got to give them credit. They played well. They played with a level of assertiveness and aggressiveness and physicality, and they had a certain game plan to defend us, and it worked. So we have to make adjustments if teams want to try to do that again, and we have to be able to play, better, more aggressive, focused defense to start games. So we're a top 10 ranked defense for a reason, and most nights you can rely on that to weather the storm a little bit if offensively you're not getting it going. It was a perfect storm of everything going wrong tonight.
I think the final tally on that first half run was 28-0. Have you felt a run? Can you remember a run like that on you in your career?
No. Trying to think. Raymond's whispering in our ear. It hasn't been one since 2009 in the NBA. I guess there's a reason for that. So I was trying to think if we had done it to anybody before. No.
Sorry to make you try to find the words for this, but what is that like, the spiraling and then watching it happen to all of your teammates?
It's tough. I think it's not for a lack of I'll call it effort, even though we I don't know what it looked like on film in terms of how we're flying around, how we were moving, but you obviously are trying everything to stop it, stop the bleeding. But sometimes in games like that, not 28-0, but sometimes you make turnovers that bounce the right way so they get an easy layup, or an offense rebound that goes right to a 3-point shooter, or, every miscommunication you have, they make you pay by knocking down the shot. So it's the perfect storm of literally everything going, their way, whether they caused it or not. So it's a tough one.
Do you think that the light practice schedule, partly because of the short roster, has an effect?
I don't know. I mean, it's worked to our favor in terms of how we've established, again, an identity and how we're playing. There's a consistency of, who's going to be on the floor and how we need to execute, and we've put that together to win games. I mean, I don't think anybody in our locker room was complaining of being tired, and nor should they. It's just, games like these happen to a certain extent. It just sucks that it was against a team that you're chasing so closely in the standings and knowing exactly where we are in terms of, that battle to secure some, momentum in that playoff chase.
Have you thought much about like the different, I guess, layers of the play-in and why it will still even benefit you guys to get into the 7-8 compared to the 9-10?
For sure, you only need to win one game, and then you at least have one home game. So, it's kind of straightforward. I don't know what this puts us in that chase for 6, but not an ideal situation. But, like I said, 10 games, this is going to be a sprint to the finish line. We still have a great opportunity in front of us to seize not only good momentum and good basketball down the stretch, but, get in the best position possible to be in that final 8 no matter how we get there.
Steph, what was Steve's message to the group?
We weren't prepared. They treated it like a playoff game. No, we got to, be more focused and locked in, more competitive. There's not much else to say really at this point. You come in tomorrow, watch the film, get ready for, again, a road trip that we should be, we should win those games and, come back with a favorable 6-game homestand to finish the season. Like it stings right now, but you wake up tomorrow and realize, you still again have a good opportunity. So don't dwell on it too much.
Steph, what was the most frustrated part of tonight's game for your team, and how needed is to react, and what you need to improve?
36-12. That was it right there. I didn't hear the second part, but we need to improve how we start games against a good team that's trying to come in our place and beat us like they did tonight.